This is the first London Plus story. Its name is Boudica. When you heard from me last, I was in Western Britain with the 9th Legion. All things were quiet over winter. Have you heard of Flavian in the 4th? His father was one of the generals in southern Gaul before I came out here. Anyway, he came to my camp with hardly another legionnaire with him. I asked him what had happened that he came to me so suddenly and with so few followers, and this is what he told me. Governor, have you heard of the two British tribes, the Iceni and the Trinovantes? They came from the eastern area of Britain, north of Londinium. Now, they have been quiet since the conquest almost 20 years ago, but just recently a queen, maybe Boudica is her name, has united them, and they have marched on our town of Colchester. Now, as you know, that was a place where our colonials lived, and there were some legionnaires there, including me, but we were relaxed, expecting no treason from the tribes. They poured into the town, and soon the town's buildings were on fire and the colonials were being put to the sword. A few of the legionnaires and I escaped. I knew it was essential that you hear the news and return to defeat the tribe's uprising. Fortunately, my legate was with us. You've heard Colchester has fallen. I expect Londinium is their next target. Can we save it? Flavian said, "It's already 4 days since the tribes took Colchester. How long will it take to get the legion down south to Londinium?" My legate answered, "We are not prepared for travelling now, Governor. It could take a week or more to ready the legion to leave. With our supplies and the legionnaires marching, we can't move quickly. It could be another 2 weeks before we arrive in Londinium." "Flavian, is that soon enough?" I asked. 3 weeks, and our legions would be tired, and the tribes fresh and confident, and maybe would have captured Londinium already." My legate said, "It's not possible to do it any quicker." I said Flavian managed to get here in 4 days. My legate paused, and I could keep my fingers still on the arm of the chair. He said, "An advance guard could be sent to the town, but they could, of course, not engage with the tribes. They could only evacuate the town and then wait till the main force arrived." "When could the advance guard be ready?" I asked. "It's possible to be ready to go tomorrow morning. My centura of mounted legionnaires would be suitable, but who could lead them?" "I will lead them. The centurion of the mounted legionnaires and Flavian can come with me. You can stay and prepare the rest of the legion. We will meet again on Watling Street," I said. I continued after a short pause. "I think we all have plenty to do. Dismiss." Now, I and our advance guard rode as fast as we could east along our new road, Watling Street to Londinium. There was little time, as certainly more of the Britons would join Boudica's successful tribes. So we had to evacuate Londinium. I met the magistrates, and they were disappointed that we were so few. The magistrates said that Boudica's tribes were still at least 2 days away, so we packed as much goods and supplies as we could and formed a column to head back westward to the main legion. As we, the advance guard and the refugees marched off, our spies watched as only days after Londinium fell to the tribes. They looted and burnt it to the ground. I swore that they would pay for their sackings of our towns of Colchester and Londinium. We met with the main legion in the Midlands. Our camp was a chance to think and plan, and I called the legate and Flavian to discuss our tactics. We no longer have to react to the tribes. We can consider when and where to engage them. We have reports that the tribes are following us on Watling Street, Leggett. What do you think we should do? I asked. My Leggett said, I have sent scouts east and west along the road to see if there is satisfactory battleground. According to our spies, the tribes outnumber us greatly, so we need to pick a place where it will be difficult for them to outflank us. You did tell them what they were looking for, I assume. I didn't stop long enough for the Legate to respond, but he did nod as I continued. When do you expect the scouts back? They are to be back here by sundown. So later that day the scouts returned with a suggested place, and after some discussion we decided to group with not only the forest at our back but a defile to retreat into. So we sat and waited. The tribes were bringing supplies and looted goods, so they could only move slowly, and it was nearly a week later before they arrived and positioned themselves opposite us. I had been on edge waiting for the tribes to arrive, but once the sun rose on the day of the battle, I thought our planning would be successful. First the tribes taunted us to come forward, but we stood firm. Wave after wave of the tribes attacked. Our long spears kept them back. It felt like hours, but must have been much less when the tribes ran away from us. Their own supplies and camp trapped them. It was an opportunity for us to attack and destroy much of the tribe's army. Then we sent our best scouts after those who escaped us. And what happened to their queen, I'm sure you want to know. We didn't capture her, and for sure she was not killed in the battle. Afterwards our spies heard different stories circulating. The one I believe is that she poisoned herself after the defeat. Then we re-entered Londinium and began the process of rebuilding. It may well take some time before the town is back to the state it was before the rebellion. But the legionnaires are fine builders, and there is plenty of timber along the banks of the Thames. I will leave more of the legion in Londinium before heading west again.